see a squared, we have to combine. So that becomes, we have to multiply man, di ba, tagsa-tagsa. So that is a to the power of 5. Muna niya ang result, a to the power of 5. And next is the b squared. This b squared, we have to combine it with b. So that is b cubed. And since 3, then no other variable here except for 1. I mean constant, so that's 3 times 1, that is 3. So your answer is 3 a to the power of 5 b cubed. And next is y to the power of 4 y to the x to the power of 4 y to the power of 5 divided by x cubed y squared. So it will looks like this. X to the power of 4 y to the power of 5 then divided by x cubed y squared. So that would become x y cubed. Later on, we will discuss y, anong nahimo ni siyang y na lang, x then y cubed. And next is the quantity c cubed d squared raised to the power of 2. A power, this is a power raised to a power. So that will become, when you rewrite this one, that will become c cubed, then power raised to the power of 2 man, so that would be times 2. And then this one, d squared, then raised to the power of 2, so that's 2 times 2 na. So, mo ni iyang outcome. So that would be c to the power of 6, d to the power of 4. Okay, next is here. These examples illustrate the following rules for exponents if a and b are positive integers. So meaning positive integers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The positive integers. So here, these are the rules in multiplication of exponents. Let your variable be x, and your a and b are the power positive integers. Then we can have x to the power of a, this is the first term, times your x to the power of b, so that will be equal to x. When rule sa multiplication is when you multiply like this one, you have to add the exponent. That's a rule for multiplication. You have to add the exponent. If they have the same base, so you have to add their exponents in multiplication. So that would be x to the power of a plus b. For example, if you have your 2 squared, like this one, 2 squared times 2 to the power of 5, that's 2 to the power of 3. So that would become 2 to the power of 5. Okay, you have to add man the exponents. So that's 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. And then, when you simplify this one, when we simplify this 2 to the power of 5, that is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So that's how much man? How much is 2 to the power of 5?
32.
Oh, that's 32. Then, if we have to check this one, this 32, if sakto ba atong pagkakuan, so we have to justify nga ang kanidi ay nga rule is correct. So we have to simplify. 2 squared is, we have 4. Then you have to multiply 2 cube. 2 cube is 8. Then 4 times 8 is equals to 32, which is also equal to this 2 to the power of 5, 32. So meaning this rule di is correct and proven proven and tested by this example. Okay? So next is the division rule. For division rule, uh, that would be x to the power of a divided by x to the power of b is equals to x raised to a minus b. So you have to subtract their exponents like this one here, or you can rewrite this one by this way. So that is x to the power of a all over x to the power of b. And that is still equal to x raised to the power of a minus b, where where x is not equal to 0. Dapat si x is not equal to 0 kay when 0 is raised to any number that is equal to 0 man gyapon, di ba? Or cannot be, and there are times na cannot be or undefined, labi na og negative iyang power. So example here is, let's say if I have 2 to the power of 5, then divided by 2 to the power of 2. So that would be 2 to the power of 5. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic, Osier. Genjik, please mute your mic. I can't mute you. Please mute your mic there, your device. I can hear, or we can hear, background noises. Okay, thank you. Okay, here, example is 2 to the power of 5 divided by 2 to the power of 2, or 2 squared. So that would be 2 to the power of 5 minus 2. Since we're using a division rule, so ano siya? So that would be equal to 2, that is 2 cube. Okay, when we check this one, 2 cube is equals to 8, right? 2 cube is equals to 8. And here, when we simplify this one, this 2 to the power of 5 is 32. And then divided by 2 squared is 4. That is equal to 8. So 8 is equals to 8. So this division rule for exponents is justified. Okay, move on to the next rule. That's raising to a power. This is power is to a power. So that is, example is quantity x to the power of a raised to b, which is equal to x to the power of a times b. So you have to multiply this one since this term is enclosed with a parenthesis. So you have to multiply, or you have to distribute its power. Example is, if I have here 2 squared, then I have to raise this one to cube. So that would become 2 to the power of 2 times 3. So that is 2 to the power of 6, where 2 to the power of 6 is equals to 64, right? So that's 64. Then, if I will simplify this one, we will check if this answer is correct. So 2 squared is equals to 4. Then we have to raise it by cube. So that is equal to 4 times 4 times 4, which is also equal to 64, di ba? 64 kay 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64. So, this rule here is also justified when we check this one. Okay, next rule, the power of a product. Okay, here, this one is just like the same with the third rule. Kay you have to distribute each kuan raman gyapon. Maski duha ni sila ka variable, it's still the same here kay you have to distribute its power man. So you have to multiply. Here, quantity x y raised to the power of a, which is equals to x raised to the power of a times y to the power of a. Example is I have here 2, let's say I have 2a, then 2a, uh, let's say quantity 2a raised to the power of 3. So that would become 2 cubed, 2 cubed times a cubed. So when I have to simplify this one, that would become, this is 8, so that's 8a cubed. So, uh, it's just the same with this one. Imura siyang i-multiply. Since we know that this understood nga na 1 here, and also this one, so imurang i-distribute iyahang power sad. And you have to simplify. Like this one, kuan man ni siya, this is a coefficient or the constant. So you have to simplify this one. So you have your 8a cubed. And this one, power of a quotient. So this is a continuation for this division rule. Example for this one is when you have a fraction like, let's say 4, wait, no, not 4. If you have 1 over x, then raised to the power of 2. So that is equal to 1 squared. You have to multiply man. Di ba understood ni 1? So you have to multiply its power. So 1 times 2 is 2. All over x to raise to the power of 1. Then you have to raise it by 2. That is x squared. So your answer is 1 over x squared. So mali siya. Okay. Next is this one. In the power example given above, we need the commutative and associative laws to group powers of the same base in order to apply the rules for exponents. Here, kani nga example kani, we will discuss this one. A cubed b squared times quantity 3a squared. Who's turning up this? Okay. Okay. This one is a cube b squared times 3a squared b is equals to your 3 imong itagsa-tag sa 3 imong gibuwag ba. Since this is multiplication, we can rewrite it this way. So that is 3a squared, then kanit na 3 nya a squared, then apa siya a cube, then b squared, this is b squared, then napa siya b, so times b. This is the commutative property where you can rewrite this way into this way. Since the understood na siya nga i-multiply na siya. And associative is you have to separate the constant, each variable. So this one, that would become 3, then you have to separate this one, and also this one. So that is 3 times quantity a squared a cubed times quantity b squared times b. So, you have to apply the multiplication rule. So that would be 3 times a. Then you have to add the exponent 2 plus 3. Then b, you you have to add the exponent 2 plus 1. So that would become your final answer would be 3a to the power of 5b cubed. So mali mo answer. Okay, next is okay, when a variable has no exponent, the exponent is understood to be 1. So mani. Kaya bantay mo si b wala exponent. So understood yung exponent is 1. So I wrote here 1 ganihan, di ba? In the second example, we use the rule for the division of powers with like bases. So like bases, the same base. So that would be x to the power of 4, y to the power of 5 divided by x cubed y squared. So here, this would be your numerator and this will become your denominator. So that would be x to the power of 4, y to the power of 5 all over x cubed y squared. Then you can separate each variable. So that would be x to the power of 4 all over x cubed times your y to the power of 5 all over y squared. So that then you have to apply this rule in division. So that would become x raised to the power of 4 minus 3 and y raised to the power of 5 minus 2. So your final answer is y times y cube, or I mean x y cube, or x times y cube. Okay. Next is this one. Here, this is the last example. The third one, di ba kanina na itong example ganyan. So this is the third one. In the third example, we can use the rule for multiplying powers with like bases, or the rule for raising a power to a power. We can apply this rule, these two rules. This one. Kani sila. Okay. And here, we will apply both rules. Tagsa-tagsaw na to if same answer lang pagyapon. So here, that's quantity c cubed d squared raised to the power of 2. And since raised to the power of 2, so we write it this way, c cubed d squared then times quantity c cubed d squared, since this is 2. So it's just like this, the x squared is equals to x times x. Or this one, you can write this one, 2, let's say 2 raised to the power of 2 is equals to your 2 times 2. Okay. Then we have to apply the commutative property, where we have to combine the all c's and all d's. So that would be c cubed, c cubed, c cubed. So that would be c cubed times c cubed, then d squared times d squared. And we have to apply the laws of multiplication, where you have to add the exponent. So that would be c cubed plus 3 times d squared plus 2. So your answer is c to the power of 6, d to the power of 4. We're in here where we have to apply the product power to a power. So here, since di ba mo ang given, then we have to distribute each term by multiplying it to the power kaya nasa sulod sa parentheses. So that would be quantity c cubed times raised to the power of 2, then d squared raised to the power of 2. And then we have to multiply there this power by this one. So that would become c cubed times 2, then d squared times 2. Then you have to simplify. Your answer is c to the power of 6 and d to the power of 4. So they're just equal, di ba? Equal lang silang duha. Okay. And here is an example. example is simplify a to the power of 4, quantity 3b raised to the power of 7 divided by a quantity 3b raised to the power of 2. And this one, you can solve the if you're given an exponential expressions, you can solve it in many ways. Like this example, you can solve it in two ways. So first is you have to separate the katong na ipa-separate ang mga variable. So that would be a to the power of 4 divided by a to the power of 1. Kaya understood ba ni nga si a na ay 1 dire kay any number if wala siya exponent, understood nga yung exponent is 1. So a to the power of 4 over a to the power of 1 times quantity 3b raised to the power of 7 all over 3b raised to the power of 2. So you have to subtract, diba, na-separate naman, so you have to apply the law of division, katong you have to subtract its exponent since they have the same base, so that is a to the power of 4 minus 1. And in here, the same base 3b, so you have also to subtract its exponent, 7 minus 2, which is equal, you simplify, this is a cube, and this one that is 3b raised to the power of 5. This one is can be simplified pa man, di ba? Can be simplified pa man. So you have to distribute this power in each the coefficient and the variable here. So that would be 3 to the power of 5 a cube, copy a cube, then b b to the power of 5. So that is can be simplified man, and that is 243, then copy a cube b cube. So your answer is 243 a cube b cube. Also here, iyang gibuhat dere is iyang gi-separate tanan. So that is a to the power of 4 times quantity 3 raised to the power of 7, b raised to the power of 7, all over a to the power of 1, 3 squared, then b squared, then is equals to the same gapon, i-perform ang law sa division, you have to subtract its exponent. So that is a raised to the power of 4 minus 1 times quantity 3 raised to the power of 7 minus 2, and quantity b raised to the power of 7 minus 2. So when you simplify, still the same, a cube, then 3 to the power of 5, and b to the power of 5. Then you have to simplify this one, that is 243, and copy a cube, b to the power of 5. So your answer in here is just equal to this one. Nasabtan lang?
Wa jud ko'y nasabtan, miss.
Yes.
Yes
Yes,
na lang.
miss. Okay. Okay. Next is another example. Here, what is the value of the fraction? Pila daw ang value ni kaninga fraction? That is quantity negative 3 raised to the power of 4 times quantity 2 to the power of 5 all
Ocho.
over quantity negative 3 times 2 then raised to the power of 3. So here, we have to, this is the given, diba? Then we have to just copy this one since it is already raised, i-raise na sila tagsa-tagsa, diba? But the denominator is naka-enclose pa sa parentheses. So we have to distribute this power nila tagsa-tagsa kaning sa denominator ni 3, negative 3 ug ni 2. So that would be quantity negative 3 raised to 4 kani, then 2 to the 5 all over quantity negative 3 versus negative 3, then raised to 3. So that's negative 3 cube times, next is the 2, so 2 cube, which is equal to, since the same base ni sila, the same base, So you copy the base and you have to apply the law of division. That would be negative 3, quantity negative 3 raised to the power of 4 minus 3. You have to subtract the exponent. And also this one, so you copy the base, quantity 2 raised to the power of 5 minus 3. So ano siya, 5 minus 3. Then you have to simplify, that is negative 3 raised to the power of 1, and this is 2 squared. And then you have to simplify this one. This negative 3 raised to 1 is just negative 3, and 2 squared is 4. So negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. So man siyang answer. So ang value ani given fraction in exponential form na siya value na negative 12 when you simplify. Okay, next. Here, when example for evaluating powers. This one, evaluating powers. Note that the expression kaniti man ani ninyo. Quantity 3a to the power of 4 is not equal to 3 times a to the power of 4. Lahi ni sila ha. Kung na quantity here, then kay sila 4, lahi aning 3, then a to the power of 4. We can see it here. When we check, we have to let the value of a is equals to 2 or any number not equal to 0 or 1. So let's assume this is 2 or a is 2. So we have to substitute here a is equals to 2. So that would be 3 a to the power of 4, di ba? Kung ato ning bungkagon sa a to the power of 4, it will look like ingon ani siya. So we have to substitute 2 here in every a. So that would become 3 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. When we simplify this one, that is equal to 48. Okay, 3 times 2, 6 times 2, 12 times 2, that is 24 times 2, 48. And in here, when we apply this one, katong nanay parentheses, or gi-close na siya, or gisulod na siya sa parentheses, so that is upat ka 3a. Here is just 3, then upat ka a. Here, upat na ka 3a, 4 3a's na. So that is 3a times 3a times 3a times 3a. Then we have to substitute 2 sa a. So that is 3 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 3 times 2. So when you simplify this one, that is 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. So man is 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. And that is equal to 1,296. Okay? When we apply the katong kuan, product of a product, this one, we apply this rule kani. I mean the power of a product. When we apply this one, here is okay. When we apply this one, katong power of a product, that would be, di ba, imo man i-distribute ang each ang power to each of the coefficient and the variable. So this 3 would become 3 to the power of 4, and a will become a to the power of 4. That is equal to your 3 to the power of 4. Then we have to substitute 2 sa a. So that is 2 to the power of 4. When we simplify this one, kani, that would 81, and 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Then that is equal to 1,296. So equal ra gyapon silang duha ani. Okay, but you have to bear in mind that when a term is enclosed in a parenthesis and raised to a certain number, that is not equal to like this one ha. Kani silang duha, dili na sila equal. Okay. Next is here, similar, since negative a is equals to negative a, negative 1a, the expression negative a to the power of 4 is not equivalent to quantity negative a to the power of 4. So that's the power of quantity ha, or the parentheses. Lahi jud ang mo gawas nga answer nilang duha when you evaluate it. So let's assume na sad nga a is equals to 2, and uh, we have to simplify. So that would be negative a to the power of 4 is equals to negative here, negative. Diba, mo man ni siya negative. Understood nga na 1 here. Then, upat ka a. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, we have to substitute 2 here in every a. So that is negative 1 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is equals to negative 16. While here, negative a raised to 4, that is upat ka negative a. So negative a times negative a times negative a times negative a, then raised to 4. So that is, you have to substitute a by 2, so that would become quantity negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Since this is positive 4, then this is also positive 4, then that is positive 16. So lahi di ba negative ning usa, ang usa positive 16. Okay. Zero exponents. Zero exponents, we know that any non-zero number divided by itself is 1. Diba? Example is 4 divided by 4 is equals to 1. 3 to the power of 4 divided by 3 to the power of 4 is equals to, when we simplify this 1, that is 81 all over 81, which is equal to 1. And 7 raised to 5 all over 7 raised to 5 is still equal to 1. If in general, for x is not equal to 0 and n a positive integer, so that is x to the power of n raised divided by x to the power of n is equal to 1. So this is the zero exponent uh, rule. So this is 1. And also here, so we can apply the rule for division of powers with like bases to these examples, di ba? We can apply gyapon the x to the power of katong a minus b. So here, example is 4 raised to 4, that is 2 squared over 2 squared. Then 2 raised to 2 minus 2, we apply the division rule. So that is equal to 2 to the power of 0. And also here, this one, that would be 4 minus 4, still equal to uh, 3 to the power of 0. And also here, 7 to the power of 0. But you have to take note that any number raised to 0 is still equal to 1. Okay? So, kanina silang duha, pareharan ni silang duha. Equal naman. Okay, any number raised to 0 is equal to 1. So, the same man ni silang duha. Okay, here, you can also apply man the law of, kani, apply ang law of division. Okay, here, in order for the rule, for the division powers with like basis to be consistent with ordinary division, we must be able to show that for all x is not equal to 0, x to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Basta si x lang, dili 0. Okay? We can check it here. Okay, multiplication, let's say x to the power of n times x to the power of 0, that is x to the power of n plus 0 is equals to x to the power of n. When we apply the 0 exponent here, 0 exponent is equal to 1, katong ana, when we apply this one, or this one, daraday, this one. So, di ba mo niyang given x to the power of n times x to the power of 0 is equals to xn, then this is equal to 1. Kani, mo na equal to 1 na siya. So, x to the power of n times 1 is just equal to x to the power of n, which is equal here. Same ra. For division, x to the power of n divided by x to the power of 0 is equal to xn minus 0, which is equal to x raised to the power of n. So that is in here, when we solve and applying this rule, that would be x to the power of n divided by x to the power of 0. Then this one will become 1 naman ni, diba? So that is xn divided by 1 is equals to xn. Then raising to a power, so that is, let's say, or ang sulod sa parentheses is x to the power of 0, then you have to raise it to n. So is equals to x 0 times n is equals to x raised to the power of 0, which is equal to 1. Also here, quantity x to the power of 0 raised to the power of n is equals to, di ba, 1 man eh. So 1 raised to the power of n is equal to 1 kay this is 1 to the infinity. Maski erase pa nimo si 1 to 1 million, that is still equal to 1. Okay? Then power of a product here, x times y raised to the power of 0 is equals to x to the power of 0, y to the power of 0 is equal to 1 times 1, then equal to 1. So quantity xy here, if we apply this one, quantity xy raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Okay, any number, any variable raised to 0 is equal to 1. Power of a quotient here, quantity x to the power of y raised to the power of 0 is equals to, you have to distribute the power, that is x to the power of 0 over y to the power of 0 is equal to 1 over 1 is equal to 1. And here, applying the any variable or number raised to 0 still equal to 1. So, powerful kaning si x to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Powerful kay na siya. Maski 0 na yung exponent, bisag erase pa ka to 0, you're still 1. Ikaw ra gyapon, di ba? Okay. Next is the fractional exponent, or we can transform this to radical sign. Okay. Here, we all know that 3 squared is equals to 9. So that is understood nga, square root of 9 is equals to 3, or we can rewrite it this way. Diba? In order to get 3. So that is called square root of 9 is equal to square root of 3 squared. Diba? 3 times 3 is 9 man gyapon. So 3 squared. And then, when we say square root, understood that the index is 2. Here, this is 2. So that is still, we can cancel this one. So your answer is 3. So, we can also say that 9 is equals to 3 squared. Diba? Kani 9 is equals to 3 squared. The same with 5 cubed is equals to 125. And 2 to the power of 4 is equals to 16. Since this is cube, so you have to get the cube root for this. Cube root. And cube root. So, 5, makansel man eh, diba? Cancel ni, then this one can be written as 5 cube. So, makansel ni. So, 5 is equal to 5. And also this 1. 2 to the power of 4, you have to get the uh, you have to get the fourth root, since that is power of 4. So you have to get the fourth root, that is your index here is 4, and this is also 4 here. So that is makancel ni siyang 4. So the radical sign, so that is 2, which is equal to kaning 16 is ma-write man mo to 2 to the power of 4. So makancel ni, then 2 is equal to 2. So we can say that for x is greater than 0, nth root of x to the power of n is equals to x. If they have the same index here and power here or exponent, so that is equal to your base here or your kaning imuhang number dire. So that is equal to x. Okay. This is the derivation naman katong kuan. This is the derivation for the okay, let's discuss this one. The derivation for the kaning anong c squared of x is equal to x raised to the power of 1/2. Ato ni siyang i-justify through derivation. So you have to let your x be any positive real number. So that is square root of x times square root of x is equals to x. Then assume that square root of x can be expressed as x raised to a. Let's assume na si kani square root of x is si x square root of a. So that would be square root of x to the power of a times x to the power of a is equals to x. You have just to substitute this one by x to the power of a. So applying the rules of exponent multiplication, so that would be x. A plus a is equals to x. Diba understood man nga na 1 here, so that's 1. Then that is x raised to the power of 2a. Kay a plus a is 2a man is equals to x to the power of 1. Then we have to extract its exponent, that is 2a is equals to 1. Then a, we have to divide this by 2, both sides by 2. So your a here is equals to 1/2. And then we have to substitute this 1/2 kani a. Also here, we have to substitute here. So that is x to the power of 1/2 times x to the power of 1/2 is equal to x to the power of 1. Di ba understood man yun ay 1? So, di ba 1/2 plus 1/2 kay 1 man, di ba? So, kuha na siya. We can say that square root of x is equal to x to the power of 1/2. You can easily understood this one in the law of radicals. Since let's just do na lang the law of radicals. So you can rewrite in the law of radicals, that is x. Let's say that I have here 1/2. I can write it this way. Square root of x. That's square root, diba? Square root is, your index is 2. And this is your radicand here. So that is x. Then, understood man ang raised to the power of 1 kung wala siya exponent. So this is your exponent. So in writing this radical expression to exponential, so your exponent here will be the kani exponent sa imong radicand dire mo na ang may mo numerator sa power. Then imong index here, kung sa ni nga index, that is your denominator sa power. So example, if you rewrite this one, 3x raised to 2/3 raised to 2/3. So that would become, since we have to write this one so that is 3x. And then, diba, the exponent will become the power here. So that will become squared. And this denominator will become the index. So that is a cube root of quantity 3x squared. You have to, dapat yung may sulod ang 3x sa quantity kay na may quantity diri, di ba? Kay kung imo na ingon ani a cube root of 3x then mo squared ka, it's the same thing. Kay only x man ang squared while here, di ba? Sila man duha ang gisulod. So you have to write or you have to put it inside the parentheses. Okay, that's the law of radicals. Okay, next is here example applying the rules of radicals. So that square root of 8 times square root of 2 is equals to, di ba, when you have to multiply 8 times 2, that is 16. So that's square root of 16, which is equal to 4. But when you apply the fractional exponent rule, so we have to rewrite this radical into this way, kani. Or kato akong gi-explain ganiha. So that is 8. Then understood maning anay 1 di ba dire? So that would become your numerator sa imong exponent. And understood nga na 2 here, so that is your denominator here. So that is quantity 8 raised to 1/2. Then times this one, understood nga na 1. Then understood sa nga na 2. So that is quantity 2 raised to 1/2 is equal to, then you have to apply the power rule. You have to convert this, you have to factor this 2 to 2 times 2 times, so that's 2 cube. So that is 2 cube raised to the power of 1/2 times 2 raised to the power of 1/2. And then you have to apply the product rule. So 3 times 1/2, that is 3/2. And copy 2 raised to the power of 1/2. And apply the multiplication rule where you have to add the exponent. So that is 2, quantity 2 raised to 3/2 plus 1/2. So that is 2 raised to 4/2, or 2 raised to 2, that is equal to 4. So your answer here is still equal in here. Kani equal ra gyapon. So we can say di ay na connected ra si exponent o si radicals. Related ra. Big-agaw ra silang duha. Okay? And the next example is applying for the division. Here, division, let's say we have given this one, 5 to the power of square root of 5 is equal to, in order to omit the square root sign, we have to multiply this whole fraction by kung unsa ang denominator diri nga na radical sign. So that is square root of 5 all over square root of 5. This is rationalizing the given fraction. So here, that is equal to 5 times square root of 5, that is 5 times square root of 5. Then square root of 5 times square root of 5 is square root of 25. Then square root of 25 is equal to 5 man. So mo nang 5 ni siya dire. Is equal to, makancel ning 5 dire kani. So ang mahabili na lang is square root of 5. And also we can apply atong i-discuss ganiha nga we have to make the this radical sign into a fractional exponent. So that is, di ba, understood ba ning 5 na power of 1, so that is 5 raised to the power of 1 all over 5. Then, since this is square root, understood nga na 1 here, then this is 2, so that is 5 raised to 1 half, which is equal to, we have to apply the law of division. Gani, division of exponents. So that is 5 raised to 1 minus 1 half, which is equal to 1 minus 1 half is 1 half magyapon. So your answer is 5 raised to 1 half, or when you rewrite this into radical, that is square root of 5. Equal ra gyapon siya dere. So either way, you can simplify either way, either this one or this one. Okay, raising to a power. How to apply the rule of fractional exponent in raising to a power. Okay, this one, a cube root of 2 to the power of 6, which is equal to cube root of 64. When you simplify to the 2 to the power of 6 is 64 man, di ba? And then, when you extract the cube root of 64, that is 4. Ano man, di ba? Cube root is 4 times 4 times 4. Di ba? Ma-factor mo na siya. So, your cube root of 64 is 4. And when you have to solve it either way, you have to rewrite it into fractional exponents. So, your cube root would become 1/3. Di ba? Kaya naman to yung this 1. So, 1, then this is your denominator 3. So, quantity 2 to the power of 6 raised to 1/3 is equal to, di ba? Then, you have to apply the power of a power, or the product of a power. So, that is 6 times 1/3. Kanina. And when you simplify this one, that is 2 to the power of 2. Kay 6 over 3 is 2 man. So, 2 squared is 4. So, equal ra ni silang duha. 4 o si 4. Okay, either way, basta same answer as long as the process is correct. Your answer is still correct. Okay. Okay, this is the conclusion. From the definition and the rules for finding the power of a power, the definition of negative powers, we can also write the following. For the negative one, if the power is negative, we can put that in the denominator. We can put that in the denominator like this one, given 1 over nth root of x to the power of m. When you rewrite it, kanang gusto mo nga na usara siya, di siya fraction, so you can write it this way. Negative na siya, kaya naman siya sa ubos. Ana man, di ba ang rule? Let's say, if this is your xn, when you write this, when you put this x to the power of n to the numerator, that would become x to the power of negative n. But if you rewrite this way, let's say you have given 2 raised to the power of negative 2. So when you rewrite that or you simplify that, that would become 1 over 2 squared. Since negative siya there is a numerator, when kumato siya denominator, that would become positive yang power. That is 2 squared. So that is 1 over 4. Same as in here. When you, diba kani siya, same format lang. And then when you rewrite it this way, that is 1 over quantity, since this is the exponent, this will become your numerator and this is the denominator. So that is x. But you have to put negative since positive here man, positive denominator. Kung imo nang i-transpose to the numerator or ibalhin mo sa numerator, that would become negative. So, ma-change iyahang sign. Okay? Okay, questions, clarifications about the lesson? I guess that's the end. You can write it in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic.
Yo.
Question, guys, clarifications.
Wala ra, miss.
Sayon rasa?
Wala daw, miss. Sa'yo na rin daw. Wala ka lang. Google Classroom, miss.
Ha?
Ang topic.
Sa?
Isa ka load.
Uso.
Sa part osa?
Na ang topic karon sa Google Classroom.
Saan?
Akong gisend sa GC. So, I will repost it na lang sa Google Classroom.
Okay, miss.
Okay. Ang gihatag sa akong ano is, well, illustrated man sa ito ang mga example. Then, nara sa mga side discussion ba. So, masabtan na sa Okay, clarifications. Please type none sa chat box if none para mag-lunch na ta.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I guess there's no more questions. Okay, you can download it in the group chat. I sent it last week, last Friday, and you can also check it in the Google Classroom. Okay, goodbye everyone.
Bye, miss.
Bye, miss. Thank you.
Bye, thank you. Bye.